And welcome back. This is Mr. Nibb with one of my weekly segments called Pick of the Litter, where I'm going to be focusing on maybe some under-the-radar, low-key characters that people might not know about and might be actually clutch. This week is going to be Night Nurse, who's arguably the best healer in the game. I'll tell you right now, she's amazing, especially in raids. She doesn't really do that well in arena, but she can actually pick up some of the slack in blitz as well. Now to kick things off, we're going to get into her abilities. Her first one, their basic, doesn't really hit all that hard. She's a support, so you gotta understand that she's not gonna be doing a whole bunch of damage. But where it really shines is it applies a slow for up to 2 turns on the enemy. And any abilities in this game that affect how fast the opponent takes turns are amazing and should be something that you should put a focus on. Now secondly, her other ability is First Aid. First Aid heals the lowest health ally for health plus a percentage of her max health, and also has a chance to leave a regeneration on with her passive. It heals quite a bit of health, and it can actually be upgraded so it requires less ability energy to cast, thus allowing you to top off tanks or even help out one of those squishy characters that took too much damage. Now her third ability is Urgent Care. This is an AoE ability very similar to Hand Sorceress, where it heals a large sum of health for everybody in your squad. Now hers actually leaves regeneration on all of your squad members, which is a pretty big deal and has actually saved my ass quite a few times. It helps when you're topping off throughout a fight, and you can kind of just spam it whenever it's up because her ability cooldowns aren't really all that big. So use it when you got it, unless you're trying to save it for like a huge AoE ability that is coming. And last but not least, we have Triage, which is her passive. And every time she takes a turn, if an ally has less than 100% health, it has a 10% chance starting out at level 1 to give 10% of her health to them. Now as you level it up, it has a 25% chance to heal them for 15% of her health. Now that might not seem like much, but she does take a lot of turns. Her speed isn't really that bad. So giving free health to people that are lower than 100% HP is a pretty decent passive. And it can actually help keep a lot of your lower health allies from dying and save you from a surplus of butt-quenching moments. Now, a lot of people might be asking, what do I need a squishy support character for? Well, let me tell you, if you plan to raid, she's pretty amazing. Now, you might think that you're just plowing through these raids and you're killing everybody, and oh man, you've got like the health potions from raids, the raid potions to heal you up. Yeah, those things are like really limited, and you should only be using them in situations where like you're pushing the precipice of progression. Other than that, you should be saving those things, because the time that it takes to fill up to get 500, which is the max, is probably like a month. So use them sparingly, ration them out whenever needed. That's why having a healer is such a big deal. Now she fits in just about any squad that you can imagine. You don't need anything else in particular. The slow helps, and if you pair her up with Quake like I do, you can keep slow on pretty much everybody. You can keep tanks from, getting taunts off. You can keep heroes from crossbones from using detonate all the time. The only issue is probably Thanos, because his resistance when he taunts is ridiculous. It's like through the roof. But beyond that, she's pretty clutch. Like I use her in my main squad for raiding. Like basically my main squad for raiding is what you're seeing right here. I kill 90% of my nodes with that squad. The only time I substitute them out is for like when I encounter like a hard mode with like a Mordo or a Doctor Strange, something like that. Like a hero like you have to lock down, or they're just gonna like make your life miserable by throwing debuffs that pretty much cripple your entire squad. But I use her in raids every day. I do use her in Blitz as well, just because I have a lot of power into her. I think I have her at like 9k, and I will continue to focus her. Her nodes can be found at Villains 3.9 and Heroes 5.9. I would recommend hitting both of them until you unlock her. I actually kept going and got her up an extra star level. I don't really need to, but I really like her, and there are no other heroes in the game quite like her, so I figured what the hell, I might as well go after her. So that's going to sum up this week's Pick of the Litter Night Nurse. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned.